guys. Sorry. Did You bet. Casper and Lily Halloway, they're from Tehachapi, came down the mountain to be with us today. We really love, and they are just as cool in person as they are on the air.
I know.
I'll tell you. All right, we want to pay honor to the businesses that stand with us and help support us and keep us on the air. Here we go, Chris. First of all, a special thanks to DB and Company Printing and Marketing. Right next door to Happy Jacks. We're talking Dave Bass here, and Dave is the guy that enables other businesses to come on for free because he sponsors this whole segment so that they can come on, tell the world about themselves. So Dave Bass, DB and Company, thank you. Now, Legal Shield. Folks, you've got health insurance, you've got car insurance, you've got motorcycle insurance, you've got all kinds of insurance. You really need legal insurance, the kind of insurance that you don't have to worry about the $200 an hour billing when you've got a problem and you need to talk to a lawyer. They can take care of you. So just jot down that cell number, make this call, and find out what they can do for you. 707-537-5881. And I think we've got, there you go.
Yes, we'd also like to thank our friends over at Kern Construction and Electric Incorporated. We're talking about Robert Miller, longtime resident of Bakersfield. Robert specializes in remodeling of homes and businesses, and he can be contacted at 661-322-5554. Thank you, Robert.
And he's doing a lot of work at our place, and boy, it's looking good. I'll tell you, we're glad we've got him around.
And we're glad to hear that.
All right, back to our guest, Ziggy Siegfried,
Yes.
the interim the director athletic director at CSUB here in Bakersfield. And Siggy, there are a lot of folks here in town. Hope you're not just interim, that you might be permanent. But what I'm impressed with you is it really doesn't matter to you if you're permanent or. And we talked about what Leonard Bernstein said. What's the most difficult instrument to play in an orchestra? It's second fiddle. And he's content to play second fiddle just to be part of it. But we're hoping you're first fiddle before this is done.
Well, I appreciate that. And it is. I love coming to work every day. I mean, it's all about impact for me and just impact on our student athletes. As we continue to put the focus on our student athletes, everything else, is second fiddle, I guess you would say. It's what my passion is, and we have some wonderful stories. And like I said, I wake up every morning driving from East out to CSUB, and I just can't wait to get there that day and make an impact.
It's such a cliche. Athletes are dumb, and they go through skate on, little teeny courses that don't amount to anything. But you really stress academic rigor for your student athletes, and tell us about their achievements in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. And our student athletes, just so you know, perform on they have higher GPAs than the general student body. And we've made a huge investment in the academic support of our student athletes. It's paid off. For instance, we came into the year with a cumulative GPA of a 2.87. And I said, we've got to get that up to a 3, which is lofty. It's a lofty goal. But after just one quarter, we're already up to a 2.94. Also, last year in the spring, and I'm going to give you a better number here in a second, but last year we had 109 of our student athletes who had a 3.0 GPA or above. We have 315 student athletes. Mm-hmm. This fall, we jumped up to 158 of our 315 student athletes with a 3.0 GPA or above. So they're performing in the classroom. They're also performing on the field. So I'm very proud with what we have at CSUB.
Boy, and given their schedules, that's really an achievement because they're practicing, they're traveling, they're doing all of these other things and still keeping their grades up. It's amazing.
It is. They are nonstop. When they're on the road, they're studying. We have huge amount of tutoring support for them. We send academic advisors often on the road trips with them, and they're just disciplined. And I think that's what you get from a lot of student athletes. They have that discipline to take advantage of every minute of the day, and that's what I believe our student athletes do.
Boy, that's a formula for success in any field, and not just athletes, but being
Right.
disciplined about time. Give us some of your success stories.
Yeah, and I have several. I was trying to think of the ones I might share, but we just had a women's basketball player who set our all-time scoring record. Name is Tiana Outland. And everyone is starting to see her in the paper and stuff. Wow, she's now the all-time leading scorer. What they don't know is her background. She grew up in Compton. Her mom, single parent. She basically lived with her mom sometimes. She lived with her grandma. She was homeless several times. And while she found friends who might have taken to drugs, she took to the basketball court. Started playing her freshman year in basketball in high school. They just retired her jersey. But let's fast forward a little bit. Tiana, not only is she performing on the court, she's already received her degree before she's even finished playing in criminal justice. Going to move on to get her master's degree. And she's just a phenomenal story, and she's one of many. We have our SAC president, Student Athletics Advisory Committee president, Lauren Kaufman. She's on the swim team. Well, I had no idea for the last 3 years that she's also a first-generation student. And she is going to make a huge impact in this community. I mean, everyone knows her. She does hundreds of hours of community service in addition to swimming, in addition to doing well in the classroom. So, I mean, that's just two of many stories that I could share with you.
Ziggy, I know that there's a way that our viewers, particularly here in Kern County, can really be a part of that and can really engage with what you're doing out there. Tell us about that, about scholarships for student athletes and what the local community can do to support that.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we have what's called the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund. That's a fund where we pay for all of our student athlete scholarships. We're allowed we have 50% right now of our scholarships funded. So the Tiana Outlands, the Lauren Kaufman, the numerous other success stories, we could double that. And where that's going to come is from the community. And they can make a huge impact. And I think it's important to know 67% of our student athletes stay right here in Kern County. So they're not just moving back home. They're staying here. They, just like I have, they fall in love with Bakersfield. Because we have people that just refuse to go back home after they come here. So the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, we have people that contribute anywhere from $100 all the way up to funding full scholarships. So that is a way that someone can make an immediate impact in our department, for our student athletes, for our community. So I love talking about our student athlete scholarships.
Your students staying here reminds me of what our mayor says is no one ever comes to Bakersfield of their own free will, but no one ever leaves of their own free will. Once they get here, they come to understand what a special place this is. Ziggy, very quickly, you also are doing a life skills training for your students, and even the community can be involved in that.
Absolutely. We just, for the first time ever, we started a life skills program. We have a life skills coordinator, and we are trying to get community members to come when we do networking events, when we're going to have our first ever leadership academy this summer, and tons of programs that are going on. So I'd love for people to contact me. We could get them plugged in, and once they meet our student athletes and see the impact that they can make, they're going to jump right on board.
Talk a little bit more about that life skills program.
Yeah, so the life skills program is to holistically develop our student athletes.
Okay.
Over and beyond academics, over and beyond in competition. So we're training them on etiquette. We're training them on speaking engagements. I know you'll be talking soon about financial literacy. Financial literacy is something that we're training our student athletes on. Again, we want to make sure that they are 100% prepared. I say this a lot. I don't want their glory days to be right now. I want their glory days to be down the road. And that's what this life skills program helps with.
What a worthy vision. Well, listen, when we come back, we're going to be talking about financial literacy. I think so many are financially illiterate, and but there's a way to solve that.
Yes.
So let's hear a little bit more music, and then we'll be right back.
my name's trouble. Lord, what they done to me, and I don't wanna